My personal story of having psychosis, it started when I was 15. I started to have mental health from a young age. It started when I lived in a hostel. I lived in a hostel in an area called Tooting, and I experienced my first mental breakdown at the age of 15. That was a really difficult time for me because I was young, I was vulnerable, and it was very difficult to experience the mental health. Throughout my teenage life, I was in and out of hospital wards, so I've been in Springfield more times than I've been in society. That's how many times I've been falling unwell with mental health. I had depression when I first started with mental health when I was 15. And then my life took a change for the worse in 2014. That year, everything changed for me. I was basically hospitalized again in Springfield Hospital, and I was under a section. That's when I got diagnosed with psychosis and schizophrenia. Work has just been a very powerful, encouraging part of my life. And I'm a person that loves what they do. I really enjoy what I do. I love my jobs that I've worked in. Because you see, all the jobs that I did in my past, it led me up to the job that I'm about to do now. So I'm about to become a peer support worker, and I'm going to be helping people in the NHS.
What would be helpful, I guess, for carers and service users to know is what was it that drove you? Where did these goals come from? And how did it serve you? And would you mind sharing?
Yes. So me and Paul were working together for a very long time. So we've been working together for around nearly 3 years now.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. During that time, me and Paul had many conversations. I first met Paul in a ward in Springfield, and that was a very powerful time. And we were talking about recovery and how to get out of the situation that I was in. And then I got discharged from the hospital, and then I started to meet Paul in CAFs in different areas in London, well, mainly Clapham Junction. And we started to talk about recovery, hopes and dreams, desires, and things that you want to do. Paul said something that changed my life when we had the meeting. He said it's better to be at the bottom in the ladder in something you want to do than to be halfway up the ladder in something you don't want to do. What he was basically trying to show me was to do something that you really enjoy, and do something that you're really passionate about, and do something that links to your core values, meanings and purposes. And that's what he was basically expressing to me at that time. During that time with me and Paul meeting, we spoke about lots of different things. I was going through university, and I studied a degree. And during that time, I basically realized that I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this degree. It wasn't because I didn't want education. It wasn't that. It's because I wanted to help other people. So I decided to give up my education and my studies to basically be involved in helping other people.
I know you went through, what, 3 jobs before
3.
you found your final NHS job, which was just about to start. Is of all the things you learned from those earlier jobs, such as shift work wasn't necessarily suitable for you, such as the type of client group you were serving weren't necessarily in line with your core preferences, you found that out yourself.
Yes.
And it isn't for me or any practitioner to tell you what you should do with your life. And that's one key principle of IPS. It's based on an individual's preferences.